point?
We can put a break in. That's fine. Yeah.
Is that what you did at other places? Just
there were a couple of parts where when we talk about the Instagram stuff, where everybody kind of did it on their own. So if you had it done already, you would have break and.
Okay. So we'll take breaks on our own time then, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's reasonable.
Paula, do you have this recording? I don't have permission to record.
Yeah, I just got it started.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first online workshop. So, bear with me in case we have some kind of snafus as we try and figure out how to make this all work, but I'm really excited to try it out. Really quick, down at the bottom of your computer, if you want to go ahead and mute your audio, that way it'll be easier to kind of, if you have to walk away or do something, we won't, jump to your screen right away. There's also a chat feature. If you look down at the bottom of your screen and click on chat, where you can type messages if you want. If you want specific questions that you want to ask to a certain person, you can send it to just a specific person.
Laura,
Carrie cannot hear a thing.
Only if you're hooked into Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Zoom is really only for the audio, right?
If you have muted your cell phone, we have the time to do that.
I can something if you want.
And if you guys have any questions, we can ask it there, or you can unmute your mic and ask it out to the group too, whichever way is easiest for you. The one downside to some of these, she can't hear a thing.
Lower left corner mute button.
Well, that would just be for us to hear her.
Oh, okay.
She should still hear us.
Connect via computer.
Carrie.
You never have to enter it.
And then if she can't, I believe there should be a phone number that she could connect via phone if need be.
I just got on the Wi-Fi here.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Facebook on my.
Oh, I'm
I don't
sorry.
remember
Oh.
my Facebook password because I do it on my phone.
Welcome, Erin.
Like me.
Erin, it doesn't look like you have audio set up. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, if you click down at the bottom of your Zoom screen and click on chat, you should be able to ask them there. And hopefully Carrie will be able to get her audio figured out too. So we've got the chat feature, and feel free to stop me and ask any questions that you have. Did everybody get the PowerPoint set out? And so if you have any questions or you want to take any notes on anything, feel free. I have everybody's email addresses, so I can send you extra things, or if you have any questions specifically, you can send them to me, and I'll be able to get them back to you. So we're gonna share this. Okay, everybody see the PowerPoint?
Did Erin Kinney get on?
She is on. Yeah, she's here.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, about me, my name is Laurel Hoover Collins. I'm a speech language pathologist by day and a mom and a social media fan by night. This is my son, Oliver. He will be 2 in next month in March. You might hear him running around upstairs. My sister's watching him up there, so I'm sure they're fine, but if I have to run away really quick for a minute, I'll be right back. I'm the marketing head for the Heart of Missouri Chorus in Columbia, Missouri, and I'm also the Region 5 social media coordinator. And this is the email address for the social media coordinator, so for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to send them to reg5socmed@gmail.com. So today, did a little bit of a Zoom instruction just to kind of get everybody in and going. And first thing I want to talk about is Facebook, and then we will hit on Instagram and Canva, and if we have time, we'll talk about Buffer. And I kind of just want to cover what each of these platforms are, who uses it, how you can use it for your chorus, what information you can get from it, what are some of the pros and cons from each of these sites, and what you can do to get help, because one of the best things and the worst things about social media and online platforms is that they're always changing. And so even now, Canva had an update yesterday and looks completely new from the last time I opened it. So they're always changing. So we have to keep that in mind as we get everything going here. So the first one I want to talk about is Facebook. This is the logo for it. If you are downloading it onto your phone, and I'm sure all of us are familiar with it, but just in case you're not. So Facebook is a social media platform that we can use for our courses to connect to fans and to members alike. It's a place where you can send and receive messages and also safely transfer money. They have teamed up with Venmo, and they have their own internal money transferring abilities also. It's a great place to be able to send event notifications and reminders. You can upload and stream videos, photos. You can also include written posts. So any kind of communication that you want to do with your fans or your members, you can do through Facebook. And it's a great way to have an extension of your web page. My chorus is actually changing our domain. And so if somebody types in heartofmissourichorus.org, it's actually going to redirect them to our Facebook page. And we're going to make that our main hub for all of our information.
Sorry, hold on. Technical difficulty. Okay. Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
Can you get it muted, Paula? There it is. Okay. The other thing that's really nice about Facebook is that it is both mobile and computer friendly. Mobile users need the Pages Manager app for the best results if you're wanting to look at some of the analytics that come with the Facebook pages. But they've actually updated this even since then, and it's more user-friendly if you're using it on mobile. Personally, I like to use the desktop for most of the big things that I do with any of the pages that I manage, just because I feel like it's easier to use. So the demographic breakdown of Facebook is, it looks like this. So a majority of the users are going to be between the ages of 35 and up. This is actually changing a little bit. They are saying that Facebook has an aging demographic. The Generation Z underneath millennials are not using Facebook as much as everybody before them are. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're wanting to connect with women who are under the age of 25, Young Women in Harmony, that age, Facebook may not be the best place to do that just because they're not using it as much. But for the majority of women that are in Sweet Adelines currently, it's a great location to be able to post information and get most of that out, since we do tend to have an older demographic in general. So the easiest thing to do with Facebook is, the best way to use Facebook is to have a page for your chorus. But the thing that you need to think about with your page is that it has to have a focus. Would you want a Facebook page to be for your members or for your fans? And this is where you have to think about it as an extension of your website. Your website is there to, provide information if anybody wants it about your chorus. And your Facebook page needs to be used in that same way. If you try to have it as the single go-to place where you can have inside jokes that your chorus has, and you talk about specific pieces of music and little nuances for within the chorus, but you're also using it as the same place where you're giving dates and you want people who are not in your chorus to interact with you, there's going to be a lot of confusion and it's going to feel very jumbled. and people may get information that you don't want them to get. So you really want to be careful not to post anything on your public Facebook page that your chorus has that you would feel uncomfortable posting on your website. If you want to have those in between conversations with your chorus, they have groups that would be great to make to have all of your chorus members join. And then you can have those more intimate discussions that you need to have, but a public Facebook page would not be the best place to do this. So Facebook can give you a lot of information. You can get the demographics of who is seeing your post and who likes your page. You can get a list of all of your fans. You can see who is liking and interacting with your post who are not yet fans of your page. And you can actually get comparisons to other pages to see what kind of traffic they're getting compared to the traffic that your page is getting. So I'm going to try here to switch shares. So I think I have to stop and then go to this one and then share again. Awesome. Okay, so is everybody seeing my Facebook page? Okay. So this is, I tried really hard to figure out how to stream my cell phone to the desktop so I could show you some of the similarities and differences between the mobile and the desktop versions of these things that we're talking about today. And I wasn't able to figure out how to do that. So that's going to be something for another time, unfortunately. So we're going to really focus on the desktop part. If you guys have specific questions about the mobile, please, please, please let me know, and I'll try and walk you through it. I just may not be able to show you each of the step-by-steps as well as I would hope to. So this is what a page looks like if you're an administrator for it. If you are not an administrator for a page, it may look a little different. The things that I really like about this are these tools that are up here. If you click on Insights, this is where it gives you a lot of information about your page. And this is where it's really good to kind of see what information is getting to people and when is the best time to post on your page. So actions on page is just the number of clicks on contact information. So this isn't usually a very important one for our base. There's not a lot of people that are contacting Region 5 specifically, so we don't usually get a lot of this on here. But as you see, like, our page views have gone down over the last week. Page likes, you can see whether or not more people have gotten page likes. We haven't had a big change, so there's nothing there. And then this is how many people have seen your posts over the last week. And it's also decreased a bit from the week before. This shows you the last 5 posts that you've had, whether or not your reach was organic or paid. You can pay to have your posts sponsored, so they will show up on Facebook feeds with a little icon underneath it that says sponsored. So this kind of shows you whether or not it's worth it to have those sponsored. And then it also shows you the type of engagement that happened with it. Did people click on the post? Did they react? Did they comment? Did they share? And if you think a post needed to get more draw and it hasn't gotten it yet, you can always boost your post from here as well, which is what you would do to pay to have it sponsored for a specific amount of time. One of the cool things about this promote and this boost feature is that it's not very expensive, and the price depends on how many people like your page. So the smaller your community is that like your chorus's page, the less expensive it is to promote. So for instance, the Heart of Missouri Chorus has just about 150 people that like our page, and I was able to boost a post that was sent out to all of Central Missouri women between the ages of 18 and 60, and it cost us $15 to run it for 2 weeks. But that number increases with the more people you get, and the more times you use it, it also tends to increase also. But it is a really good tool to have when it's used sparingly. If you use it too much, then it starts to get unwieldy and not really worth the cost. When I was talking about pages to compare, that's this part down here, pages to watch. You can add the pages specifically that you want. And what I've done here is I have SAI in general is the top one, and then other regions, just the top 5 or 6 that I found on Facebook, and I added them here just to see what the comparisons look like, to see if the page likes is similar, if the number of posts that we're each doing is similar, if the engagement is similar. And we are actually doing pretty good compared to some of these other regions in the area as far as posts that we have and the number of engagements that are going on. These 2 things here are what are needed to get your posts into people's Facebook feed. Facebook has this algorithm when you are on a Facebook feed where the more you interact with a post or with a set, the more likely it is to show up in your feed. So if I just post a whole lot to this SAI page, it's not necessarily going to show up in people's feeds if they're not liking it, if they're not sharing it with people themselves, if they're not commenting on the posts. So that's the one part about Facebook that is very difficult to kind of explain to people sometimes, is that if you have your chorus members like your Facebook page, that's not enough. They have to go in and they have to like when you have an event, or they have to share it with other people, or if they have to comment on it. So that way Facebook's algorithms say, oh, hey, this is actually a page people are interested in. I'm going to send it to more people's Facebook feeds so they can also see the updates that are happening there. So that kind of continual interaction with the Facebook page is really, really important. Any questions so far? Now let me stop sharing so I can see the comments here, because all I get are videos. Okay, cool. One of the things that I really, really like about Facebook is their event feature. So when you click on events, you are able to schedule an event for whatever you want. One of them that I just did recently was the regional competition, for instance. One of the things that is cool about this, let me actually open a new event so I can show you. We'll do it on here. So when you go to create an event, you can update a photo or a video for your event. So you can actually have a 30-second video that plays as the event photo. So when people see it in their Facebook feeds, it would show a photo, or it would show a video instead of a photo if you wanted to. You have to have an event name. Facebook is very specific about what this name has to look like. The capitalizations have to be correct. You can't have too many exclamation points at the end of it. Everything has to be spelled correctly. It has to be fairly short. So the event name needs to always be pretty specific and pretty clear and accurate. Location, you can actually put in a specific hotel, a church, a chorus, whatever you would want to do for location to be able to say where this event is taking place. And this actually links to Google Maps. So if you have, like, we practice at Fairview Road Church of Christ, and if I type that in and it shows up here, then whenever somebody clicks on this on the event page, it'll actually show them Google directions of how to get to that church. The description, oh, where did the chat go? Sorry, hang on one second. Carla, which insight are you talking about?
Never mind, I figured it out.
Okay. So the description is where you sell your event to whoever's going to see it. So this is where you put the meat and potatoes of whatever you're talking about. If you have any special guests that you want to promote, if it's a free event, if you want to say that it's kid-friendly, if you're having a fundraiser, any kind of specific details you'd want to put in this description. I have yet to hit a text limit on the description, so make it as detailed or as thin as you feel you need to make it to promote your event. These categories are just kind of here. I've never really found one. They don't have a music one. Oh, they do now. Cool. That if somebody is searching for an event near you based on a category, then your event would show up in that. Most of the time, I've been clicking on causes because most of these that I make are for fundraisers or for performances. But now that there is a music category, you could also click on that. People who are looking for music events would, this would show up as well. This frequency feature is very cool. You could actually have it where every practice that your chorus has is an event on your chorus's page. So you could have it occur weekly where every Thursday at 6 p.m. there's going to be an event, and that's chorus practice. If your chorus doesn't have a set practice schedule, or if the location where you practice changes, this would be a really great way to be able to keep everybody updated on where the next practice would be or what time it would be, especially if you want newcomers to be able to come. This would be a great way for them to kind of always know where to go and what time to be there. This co-host feature is my favorite feature. You can add other pages and people to be co-hosts for your event. For the regional competition event that I just recently made for the SAI page, I invited every single chorus to be a co-host. So that event will now show up on their chorus's event pages if they've accepted that co-host ability. You could have the city that your event is taking place in to be a co-host. You could have the church where you're practicing, or a person, or another group be a co-host. It allows it to end up on their calendars. They're able to share it more easier, and it also will kind of branch out the amount of people that are going to see your event. So it's in your best interest to add as many co-hosts as you feel are necessary for whatever your event is. The one downside to co-hosts is that you want to be careful with like the commenting abilities that are on these events, depending on who you add as a co-host. For instance, if I added the city of Columbia, Missouri as a co-host for an event, I would probably turn off commenting for that event, because anybody who likes the city of Columbia, Missouri would be able to comment, and it's going to be a lot harder to kind of weed through the trolls, weed through the people who are just commenting to, kind of stir the pot. It's not so much an issue when your co-hosts are other Sweet Adeline groups or other musical groups. I haven't had an issue with it yet. But where I've kind of seen the struggle is when I have co-hosts that are not other musical groups, where sometimes you have to watch what the comment section looks like. Details, these are keywords that people can search for if you want them to be able to find your event. I always check kid-friendly on mine, and the keywords have to be keywords that are in Facebook's database. So like if I wanted to do acapella, that's there, but barbershop is not. So you have to be specific, but you have to also kind of be creative with what keywords you want to put in here. And you want them to be words that you think people would search for. Yes, Karen, this is being recorded. You want them to be words that people would search for to try and find your device. So acapella, women, singing, performance, music. If it's a holiday concert, putting in the holiday that it's for. If it's a fundraiser, or if you're working with another organization, putting in keywords like that would all be really good ideas. You have to limit the amount of keywords. I believe it's 3 that you're allowed to do. So it takes a little bit of trial and error to kind of find which keywords work best for the area that you live in. I've learned that acapella is not a great keyword for my area. Just for some reason, nobody searches for that. But music's a wonderful one. And so I have stopped putting acapella as one of my keywords because nobody's searching it, and I've got other words that I could use to try and promote this event. Clicking this would allow people to directly message your page to ask about event questions. So instead of having to put a comment down on the event, they could send you a direct message if they had a specific question. It makes it a little more personal, and it would allow them to ask questions that maybe they wouldn't be embarrassed to ask in a group, or maybe if they wanted it to be a surprise or something, it would allow them to be able to ask it without everybody else seeing it. I would suggest either having this button checked or allowing people to post. You could do both also, but having one or the other for sure. Otherwise, people are not going to be able to interact with your event, and they're not going to be able to ask you any questions about it. And you can also display a guest list if you want. I have not found a reason yet why displaying a guest list would be a bad idea. Excuse me. It allows other people to see who's coming to the event. When you go to publish, you can save a draft if you're not quite done with it yet, if you want to check something, if you want somebody else to look it over. You can publish it right away, or you can schedule an event. I'm breaking up. Is it getting any better, Paula? So when you go to schedule, sorry, it's going to make me fill in all of these really quick. And we're going to say this once, and it's going to end there. Cool. So if I go to schedule it, I can say what time I want it to start, the schedule. And so this is a great feature if you know you want to have a holiday concert on December the 3rd. And so you want to start putting an event together for that concert, but you don't want it to be published until November 3rd, you know, because if you publish it now in February, it's going to get lost in the flow. So this is a great way to kind of get ahead of some of those events if you know that it's going to be a busy time later on, to be able to set the schedule for whenever you want. And then at this time and date, unless you've told it to not schedule, your post will get scheduled, your event will get scheduled. This is one of my favorite features that Facebook has, is the scheduling feature. You can also do it with normal posts as well. Let me go back to here. I think all of mine have already been, yeah, they've already been posted. If you click on this publishing tools button up here on the top, it shows you all of the posts that you have posted. This is probably 20 posts or so, and then you can always click back to see more if you want to see any of the long-term comparisons of your posts. As you can see, this one has been the biggest post that we've posted in a while, and that it does not surprise me at all. It's the retiring announcement and the party announcement. And so it makes sense that that would be the one that has the most interactions. This is a great way to see if people are responding more to posts that have pictures, posts that are just text, posts that have links, posts that have videos in them, because people are going to interact differently with your page depending on who they are. So just because people who go to My Chorus's Facebook page interact with posts that have pictures, doesn't mean they're going to interact to your posts that have pictures. Maybe your fans want videos, or your fans want links. It's one of those trial and error things where you just have to kind of see what people who are fans of your Facebook page like the most. The other really important tool, the other reason that the scheduling tool is important is that you can determine what time. Oh, hang on one second, guys, sorry. Hang on, let me mute real quick. Sorry, baby question. I'm back. So when you go to put in a post and you go to schedule it, people are going to be on Facebook at different times of the day. And generally, the most active times for Facebook users for our demographic are right after dinner during the week, right after church on Sunday, and early morning on Saturday. So between 7 and 9 a.m. on Saturday. And I'm sorry, early morning during the week too. So before they leave for work and right after dinner during the week, and then right after church on Sunday. And most of the time when I'm making these Facebook posts, I'm doing them on my lunch hour at work. And so I don't want them to actually go out at that time because they're not going to be seen by as many people. So when I have a post get published, I usually have it go live between 5 and 6 p.m. because it's most likely to get seen during that time. Again, this is going to change depending on, your demographic, but it's one of those things just to kind of be aware of. And with trial and error, you'll find the best time and the best days to be able to post. Wednesdays are usually not a great day for posting for the regional page because people just don't interact with them on Wednesdays. But Fridays and Mondays seem to work better. And so this is one of those things where you just want to play with it. And the more you play with it, the more you'll kind of get to know about it and see what works best for your course. Does anybody have any specific Facebook questions that I have not covered yet?
Laurel,
Yes.
this is Carol Schumacher. I have a question on the roles that each person plays.
Okay. Just what the roles are?
Yes. Like, does every role, when we turn on the messenger for a feature, does everybody see that?
Everybody, I don't believe everybody sees it. People with specific roles would see it.
Because we were trying to figure that out because we were all discussing, who's going to reply to this or who's going to reply to that. And at one point, somebody said, oh, yeah, I see all those. They just didn't, comment to them because they knew there were two of us that would reply.
Right. And
a better feeling of what each of those roles, what's the difference?
right. I'm trying to find them really quick because they've changed. There they are. Okay, so if you click on settings, and then you go down to page roles, this is where you'll be able to see them. And this kind of gives you an idea of what each of the page roles does. So the admin is the highest level of ability that you can have on a role, and they can do everything. So they're the ones who can send messages, publish, respond. They can delete comments. They can create ads. They can add other administrators. They have all of the capabilities if you're an admin role. You can add other roles: editor, moderator, advisor, and analyst. And when you change these, it actually changes what they do down here. So an editor can also send messages and publish to the page, and add and delete comments. Trying to see what the differences are here. It looks like they cannot add other admin, but they can see.
Have access to create ads.
Create ads. Okay, yeah, so that would be the other change that they have. A moderator cannot respond to messages, but they can also kind of keep track of the comments that are happening on the page. Advertisers can do the ad piece of it, and analysts can look to see which admin created a post, and they also have the ability to view insights. So it looks like everybody who has admin and editor abilities would be the ones who are able to respond to messages that your page has.
Okay.
So if you have multiple ones, just kind of assigning that role to one or two of them and saying, hey, this is going to be your responsibility would probably be the easiest way to do that. There's not really a way to do it within Facebook if you have more than, one or two admin or editors. Does that help at all?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions? Okay, well, if anybody has any other questions about Facebook, let me know. That was kind of everything I wanted to hit, I'm pretty sure. So we did insights and publishing tools. We can take a look at the Ad Center if you want to see it. You don't have to pay for your ads until the very end, so you can go through the whole thing and then see how much it would cost, and then decide at the end whether or not to go through with it. And so you can see you have a bunch of options here whenever you do this. You can target the people based on their location, based on their gender, based on their age. You can have specific interests. So if you want to target people who are interested in singing or interested in music, if you want to target people who are interested in nonprofits, whatever you want to do. You can also exclude people. So people who have these interests would not see your post. So whichever way is easiest for you. It'll show you your potential reach based on what you put in for your audience. So if I wanted to do women in Missouri, in Columbia, Missouri. Oh, not South Carolina. Within 50 miles of Columbia, Missouri, then my ad would reach about 190,000 people. So the more specific you get it, the smaller your audience is going to be. So that's one of those things where you want to see if it's worth the cost or not. And then if I want to include music as an interest, singing, chorus, hey, my potential reach is still about the same, so that'd be pretty good. And so I could hit save. And then it shows you what your budget, you can put in your budget specifically of what you want it to be. So if I wanted to spend $1,000, then this is about how many people it would reach per day, and it would tell me how many days it could run. So if I spent $10 a day, this is about how many people my ad would reach per day. If I wanted to do $30 and I spent only $3 per day, this is about how many people my ad would reach. And these numbers are going to increase or decrease based on the amount of page likes that you have. So just because $30 is one of your options today, in a year from now, it may not be $30, it may be $50 as your lowest option. You can also choose how long you want it to run, and then the estimated amount of reach will change based on that. Payment, you can use PayPal, you can use Venmo, you can use a credit card, however you want to do that. And then hitting boost is what would actually cause it to go through with the transaction, and you would have your ad run. Excuse me. We're going to cancel that because I do not want to spend $30 on that. Oh, and the help settings. That's what I wanted to talk about with Facebook. So this is the help for Facebook. It is a really, really good help community Facebook has. They have a bunch of frequently asked questions that are usually pretty good at answering a lot of the questions. If you have a specific one, you want to ask, you type in a word and it'll give you a bunch of search results based on that. And then they also have additional help based on advertising itself, the community, or if you have any feedback questions. If there's a specific bug you think with your page or something, you can send them feedback and get an answer from there. And I believe if nobody else has any other questions, that's all I wanted to cover about Facebook. So let me stop this and pull this up. So the pros and cons of Facebook. It is the quintessential social media. If you mention social media to somebody, they're going to think Facebook. It has a ton of usable features and a huge amount of potential members, and the ads are easy to use and they're cheap. And Facebook itself is free. The other pro is that there are continuous updates. If there's something about Facebook that you don't like, that's probably not going to be a feature in 6 months because they're changing it so frequently and they're doing so many updates to it all the time. Some of the cons that come with Facebook is that there are some legal gray areas for owning videos and photos that are posted. Facebook has this thing, they have gone to trial for it a couple of times, and I still haven't gotten a direct answer yet on what the outcome has been. But they have, in the past, used personal videos and photos that people have put up on Facebook in ads that they have with other companies. So just be aware of that. For any photos or videos that your course posts on Facebook, don't make them anything that you wouldn't want the world to see, because it is possible that the world would see them. And you just want to keep the image of your course in mind when putting those things on. It does have an aging demographic. Over the next 10, 15 years, it may not be the best place to gain new members. Especially if you're looking for younger members, but it does have a great demographic age for what our courses are. And then the other con is that there are continuous updates. Just as soon as you figure out how to do something, they're probably going to change where it's located or how to do it. And so you kind of take the good with the bad with that. But Facebook is very user-friendly, and their help section is wonderful. And if you just kind of play around with it, you're usually able to figure out everything without doing a lot of damage. They have a lot of kind of warnings before you make any big changes to your page that you wouldn't be able to undo. And so this is where you can get help if you're on the mobile sites. You click on the little question mark that would be in the top right spot of your phone, and then it pulls up the help there. And then on regular Facebook, if you click on the See More, you'll have help and support down there as well. Still spotty audio. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it's the internet connections, and we have an ice storm right now, so that might be part of it. I'm sorry. If you need me to repeat anything, let me know, okay? The next thing I wanted to talk about is Instagram. This is the one that I really wish I could get the mobile to work, because most of what I do on Instagram is on mobile. I may still try. Let me see really quick if I can make this. Can you guys see this if I do this? Is it clear at all? It looks kind of fuzzy. Okay. So what I may do is I may try and show you some things on my phone through my webcam that I need to show you with Instagram. So of the courses that we have here, do any of you have an Instagram account for your course yet?
Kansas City created one at the last social media event.
That's right. Okay. Does anybody else have one?
Cedar Harmony has one, but I never have really used it because I don't know really what to do with it, which is partly why I'm here today.
Perfect. You're going to find out what to do with it. And it looks like Metro Mix has one as well. Okay. So I know Kansas City's is a business account because we did that at the last one. Are the other 2 business accounts, do we know? Oh, and Show Me Sound, that's right, okay. Well, we will figure out how to do business accounts for those of you who do not have an Instagram account for your chorus yet, or if they aren't business accounts yet, we will go over how to do that. So what is Instagram? Instagram is a photo sharing service that is owned by Facebook. Think of it as a coffee table book for online photos, basically. It allows you to tag people in events and create searchable groups. You're able to post videos, pictures, and GIFs, or GIFs, depending on how you say it, which are those short, moving, silent pictures, kind of like silent videos that will replay over and over. Instagram has live video capabilities and some editing power. You have different possibilities for business and personal accounts, and it is both mobile and computer friendly. Even though it is both mobile and computer friendly, Instagram was born as a mobile app, and most of the capabilities are on the mobile device. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have a smartphone and you are really interested in this Instagram stuff, some of the things that we'll talk about, you may not be able to do them as well on the desktop as you would be on a mobile. So this is kind of who uses Instagram. So 18 to 29% of their users are between the ages of 64% of their users are between the ages of 18 and 29. And then about 40% are between the ages of 30 and 49. Generally, it's the millennial generation and the Gen Zers are the 2 biggest demographics that make up Instagram. Instagram has a very good professional side. A lot of advertisers, a lot of models, a lot of professional businesses use Instagram as kind of their professional front for people. Oh, perfect. Paula found a link for the Facebook page roll. She posted it in the chat. So if anybody has any other specific questions on page rolls, you can get it there. Thanks, Paula. So how could you use Instagram? You could use Instagram to promote events for your chorus, to kind of share behind the scenes stuff, things that you think kind of show how fun or how engaging your chorus is, but you don't necessarily want to put them on Facebook. You can also put little singing samples, or you could do guest introductions on Facebook. If you have a guest night, you could do a little video where they just are all saying their name, or you could do a little snippet of a new song that you're doing. You do want to be careful with copyright, though, if you do this. You can also link Instagram and Facebook together. So if you post on Instagram, it will also automatically post to Facebook and vice versa. Instagram will also give you demographic data, and it'll also has advertising capabilities just like Facebook does. So this is some of the information that Instagram's demographics can give you. They can give you who is interacting with your photos and videos, who has recently discovered them, how far your videos and photos are reaching, and the impressions that people are leaving. So they have a like feature on Instagram, which is a little heart, and this will tell you how many people are liking your photos and videos. It'll also give you insights from your posts, from your stories, and from your promotions. Instagram stories and Facebook stories are very similar. What these are pictures and videos that will only last for 24 hours. So say you want to run a promotion for tickets for an event, and you want them to do something, but you've got a time limit on when it starts and stops. Posting it as a story would be a good way to do this. And then you also have audience information. You'll get a location breakdown to see where in the world they're located. You'll get age ranges, you'll get gender, and then you'll also get that time of engagement, which is really important when looking to see when is the best time to post, just like it is on Facebook. Pros and cons. It is free. Excuse me. It's very user-friendly once you have it started. It is a clean and sleek design. It's easy to share across social medias. There's a large barbershop presence, and tagging allows for easy location of new pages. Some of the cons are that if you have a personal Instagram and a chorus Instagram, you have to have 2 separate emails to set up 2 accounts. Excuse me. And if you do this, you also need to make sure that you're adding your stuff to the correct account. Setting up the business account and connecting it to Facebook is a little hard, but it's easy to use once it's done. And this is one of those things that we'll do here. So if you have already set it up, feel free once we get to that part to go ahead and take a break, do whatever, talk amongst yourselves, because we'll walk through how to do the setup just like we did in Kansas City and St. Louis. Where to get help? These are all on the mobile, and so if you look at the top of your Instagram when you're on your main page of your Instagram, there's these little 3 lines. So you click on those. You go down to settings, and then you click on tutorials. And they have video tutorials. They've got a help section. They have a very robust help center, just like Facebook does. So let's move this back over to here, and we'll go to Instagram. So this is what Instagram looks like on the desktop. So this is what my page is. So you can see all of the posts that Region 5 has posted. I believe this thing here is in the way for me to... And then if I click on Instagram, this will bring me to my feed, just kind of like the Facebook feed. So all of the other Instagrams that I follow, I will see their posts here. And so as you can see with all of these posts, you'll have at least 1 picture or a video, and then you can talk about it underneath. So you can kind of do a comment about what's going on in the photo. And then these here are all tags that you can do. And so any of these tags, so like I clicked on We Are Sweet Adelines, and what this will do is it will bring me to every tag that anybody has done on Instagram with the tag We Are Sweet Adelines. And this is where these tags are really nice, is because a lot of these places, or a lot of these people, I don't necessarily follow them, but because we're all using the same tag, I can find more Instagrams to follow and interact with and kind of increase the reach that my chorus has. I was going to see if anybody had... Doesn't look like anybody's posted videos lately. I was going to see a video. If you see one like this where you have 2 or 3 dots down here, they've got more than 1 picture posted. So you can actually click through and see the pictures. So you can post, I believe it's up to 10 pictures at a time. The videos that you post can be up to 1 minute long, which is pretty long. It's very nice. And that's kind of what your feed looks like. To get to your personal page, you would come over here and click on this person. Click on this here, and it gives you kind of your information that you need. And you can also edit your profile. You can change all of your stuff here. We do have a tag for our region. It's SAI Region 5. So if anybody uses that tag, we have 20 posts in there. How about that? So these are all of the posts that have been tagged with SAI Region 5. And so that's kind of a cool thing where you can see what's going on within your course or within your region, just to kind of get some more of that reach. So I'm going to log out here. So this is what Instagram should look like if you do not have an Instagram page. And what you can do is you can click on sign up, and you can go through. It keeps wanting me to sign in with my Facebook. You type in your email and you type in your password. You can change the email that is connected to an Instagram account, but you have to let it set for 60 days before you can change it. So if you have a chorus email that you want connected to your Instagram, I would use the chorus email. If you don't have one, and if you're not interested in using Instagram personally for at least 60 days, you can use your personal email address and switch it over later. But just follow through the information to log in. I would not log in with Facebook. I would log in with your own email account if you're making one for your chorus. So go ahead and do this, and let me know if you guys have any questions. How's everyone doing? Are we still getting them set up? Are we still waiting on anybody to set up their Instagram? Paula, is everybody there all ready to go? All right. So once you have your Instagram set up, what you will want to do is you're going to want to switch it over to a business account. So a business account and a personal account are both free. The big difference between them is that you're able to look at insights and analytics with the business account. That's fine, Karen. And you can show this to them too and see what they think. And then that's an easy way to be able to set it up also. But the business account allows you to see those insights and those analytics, and you can't see them with the personal account. So that's the only difference between the two. So what you will do, you have to be on mobile to set up a business account. But on mobile, if you click on the 3 lines that are going to be on the top right side of your screen, they're going to open up this menu. And if you go down to the bottom and you click on settings, that'll bring you to a page that looks like this. To see those 3 lines, sorry, I might have missed a step. To see those 3 lines, you want to hit the little person icon that's going to be on the bottom right side of your screen to bring you to your Instagram page. When you first open Instagram, it's probably going to be on your feed. So if you go down to the bottom and you click on that little picture down there, then you should be able to see the 3 lines on the top right of the screen. Oh, that's really hard to do backwards. And so you click on those, and then you go down to settings. And then once you're in settings, you're going to scroll down to just above privacy and security, and you're going to see a button that says switch to business account. And so what you do is you click on that button and you follow through the steps to set up the business account. It walks you through the whole thing. You know that you have a business account set up when you click on your picture down at the bottom, you click on those 3 lines, and you're going to see insights and your activity as the top 2 options under those 3 lines. If you see those 2 options there, that means you have a business account set up. If you don't see those there, that means something kind of went wrong, and we'll want to figure out what that is. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to do that. Let me know when you're ready, and then we'll move on to the next part. So right above that privacy and security page, you will see the switch to business account button. It's 2 right above that. So what you'll do is you'll click on that switch to business account button and it'll be there. So it's not within the privacy and security page, it's just under settings. We will talk about linking Instagram and Facebook next, once we have the business part set up. So Karen, go back to where you can see your page again. And then once you click on the 3 and down on the settings, if you scroll down, am I down far enough? If you see it says security right here, if you go up 2, this is the button right here you want to click. So it's 2 options above privacy and security when you're just under settings.
Okay, hold on. Could've sworn.
Did that work? No. Okay, we can chat later. Was everybody else able to figure it out? Okay, so once you have that done, to check again, oh, hang on, I have to go to my business one here. Remember, you'll click on those 3 lines, and then you should have Insights and Page Activities as your first 2 options. And so if you click on Insights, the only way to get to it is through the mobile, but you'll see that you've got 3 tabs across the top. You have Activity, Content, and Audience. You can scroll down on any of these to see what insights you have for each of them, and then you just click on the other labels to be able to see the other information that you want to see.
Computer.
So to show you how to link Instagram and Facebook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a post on Instagram. So what I'd like for everybody to do, if you have a webcam, can you turn it on really quickly? I'm going to take a picture of all of us that are in this group. And so when you go to post on Instagram, down here in the middle, you're going to have a box with a plus in it. And what you do is you click on that box and it opens up your camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a video or a photo of this page. So everybody smile. And that's what it looks like. And so what you can do from here is you can actually choose a filter that you want to put on your photo. So you can go through and you could change any of the colors to pick the one that you like the best. Ooh, I liked that one a lot. Where was it? Yeah, that one. You can also click, I don't know if it's showing up or not, but there's a filter and an edit button down here. And if you click on edit, you can also change the tilt, you can change the contrast, You can add warmth, saturation, color. It gives you a lot of editing options within it. Whenever you have the picture looking the way that you want it to, up here on the top right, you'll click the next button. And it will open up the page for you to make a post. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, having a great time at our first ever online workshop. And then in this same box where I've done the typing, I'm going to add my tag. So to do that, I just do hashtag and then whatever I want to say. Your tags have to be one word. Whenever you put a space, that's going to be the end of it. So if you want to say like SAI Region 5, if you put a space between SAI and region, it's only going to tag SAI. So you have to put all the words together if you want it to be a full hashtag. So I'm going to do hashtag SAI Region 5. I'm going to do I am sweet Adelines. And if you look, when you start to type in a hashtag, a bunch of options will show up. And you can see how many posts are in each of those. So you might have an idea in your head for a hashtag, and then this will show you some other options that you might get a wider audience with if you want to use something else. So once you have that done, if you click down, if you look down here, it'll say also post to, and you'll have a Facebook, a Twitter, and a Tumblr option. So the first time you do this, if you click on the Facebook one, what it'll do is it'll have you log into your Facebook account, and it'll have you pick a page that you want to post it to. So to be able to do this, you have to have the admin rights on your Facebook page. But as you can see, once I have that done, next to Facebook, it says SAI Region 5 Spirit of the Midwest page. So now when I post this picture, it'll also show up on the Facebook page side as well. And we can jump back to Facebook in a minute, and I'll show you guys how to do the reverse. You can post to Instagram from Facebook also, as long as you have the two accounts connected. So now that that's done, up here in the top right corner, excuse me, you just hit the share button, and it'll post it. And it'll be the top one in your feed. Once it's posted, you'll be able to see it. And it'll also, oops, now that it's a business account, if you look, if the color focuses here, I have an option to view insights. So I can look at insights for just this specific post. And I also have the ability to promote this post, which is done the same way that the Facebook boosting posts is done as well, since it's the same company. And if we look, it should also be on our Facebook page now. So I'm going to refresh our page. And there it is. And so it linked to both of them. So you can see that it was posted here. It'll also tell you who it was posted by, just like all of the Facebook posts do. If you have those admin capabilities, you can look at any of them. Oh, hey, see, look, like Paula did one here. And so I can see that Paula posted it since I'm also an admin on the page. So if you post from Instagram, what it'll do is it'll have the name of your Instagram post, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you that it was published from your business Instagram account. So this also kind of gives you that reliability that you need to be able to see who's actually posting each of these posts. The one downside to the Instagram business account is that you can't have multiple people be admin for it in the same way that you can for Facebook. So if you want several people to be able to post to the Instagram account, they're all going to log into their phones using the same email address and the same password. So having a fewer number of people have access to your Instagram is going to allow you more control over what gets posted there. If you have, let me stop sharing this. If you have more than one Instagram account, or if you decide you really like Instagram and you want to add your own personal account later, if you want to have one for your course and then one for another group, whatever, what you do to switch through accounts When you have more than one logged in on your phone, if you click on the name, it'll give you the option to move through the other accounts that you have logged in on your phone at the same time. And to log into another Instagram account from your phone, what you do is you click on the 3 lines, and you go down to settings. And then when you scroll down, you will get to a add account at the very bottom. Underneath both the logouts, there's an add account button. And you click on that and it'll allow you to add multiple Instagram accounts to the same device. Does anybody have any other Instagram questions? I personally like Instagram better than Facebook. I like how smooth it is. I like how crisp and clean it is. I feel like I have more control over what I see in my Instagram feed versus my Facebook feed. I also feel like it's more personal than Facebook is. And so I like it better than Facebook. But I do see the merits of having both of the accounts, and I see kind of the pros and cons to both of them. There are some things that I post on Facebook that I wouldn't want to post on Instagram, and kind of vice versa. But it's just going to be up to your chorus, up to you, up to the people that are running these accounts over which ones are best for you, and if you want them all to be run by the same person or if you want to have different people in charge of different aspects of it.
Hey, Laurel, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you share posts on Instagram? So like the post that you just made on Instagram, could we share that?
Yes. So the way you do that, actually, hang on. Let me see if I can do it on the computer because that'll be easier. Let me see if it'll allow me. I logged into my personal one here. Sorry. So you're going to see a whole bunch of my son and other babies. So what you can do is if you click on, it's going to be this kind of third option. So you're going to have the heart where you can like, the comment bubble where you can comment, and you click on this third option and you can share the post. So you can share it in a variety of different ways. You can copy a link and you can share via an email. You can't really reblog it in the way that you can reblog on Facebook. But what you can do is you could relink it and you could share it to your own account again. I thought there was a way that you could do it on the mobile one. Let me see if this option's a little different. You can share it to your own story on the mobile one, but it's not the easiest way to do it. You can also save different, clicking this little bookmark here, you can save them into different collections if you want to hold on to them for later. But what you can do is you can tag other people in them. So if you look in the comments of this one, how different people are tagged, it's going to show up now on their main page that they've been tagged in it. So you may not be able to reblog it, but you could tag yourself and your friends in it.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
I do have one question too.
Yeah.
Since you had posted it to Facebook, can you just share it through Facebook after that? Couldn't
Correct.
you?
Yes, you can. Yeah. So I could go here now and the share option is right there on the Facebook page. Yep. But this is only going to share it through Facebook. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And if anybody doesn't want their full name on any of these, let me know. I can go back in and edit this and cross out your full name. I'm sorry. I just realized that a lot of people's first and last names are in this picture. So send me a private message if you don't want everybody to know, but I will go back in and I can edit out those names if you want me to. Any other Instagram questions? Awesome. We're moving through this quicker than I thought we would. That's great. So we're going to go back to this one. So I have to go here. I'm going to get a hang of this eventually, I promise. So the next thing that I want to talk about is called Canva. Canva Canva is one of my favorite things in the world. What this is, it is a graphic design tool website that uses drag and drop and has access to over 1 million photographs, graphics, and fonts. I am not in any way, shape, or form a graphic designer. I do not have an artistic bone in my body when it comes to drawing and kind of creating in a 2D medium. And Canva has been a lifesaver for me. It is super easy to use. It's wonderful. And you can make all kinds of designs from the size to use on social media up to massive posters. You can make brochures, you can make flyers, and it's completely free. Oh, I had another chat, but it went away. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Yes, if we have time, we can touch on Twitter. I don't use Twitter a whole lot personally, but I can definitely share with you guys what I know about it. Okay. So you can use Canva to make posters, flyers, Facebook covers, Instagram posts, business cards, photo sets. It's great because you can collaborate. You have team creating. You can share in progress and finished designs. You can print or send to get printed directly from site. So if I made a flyer and I wanted to print it myself, I could download it and print it. But they also have a built-in system where you can actually send it off and pay them, and they will print it and send it back to you. I haven't used their pay-to-print service, but I've heard that it's wonderful. I just can't say anything about it myself because I tend to just want to print it myself. Pros and cons, it's got a ton of flexibility. There's no need for a graphic design background. You can save all of your past projects, so they're very easy to reuse. If you make a poster for guest nights and you decide you really like it and you want to use it again the next year, it's really easy to go in, tweak a couple photos, change the date, and then it's done. It's very team friendly. You can use your own pictures, which is wonderful. Not all of the features are free though, but it does let you know if you have to pay for them. And once you get a hang of it, it's easy, but it's a little hard to learn at first. And they have a very robust help system. There's this little green need help button that's always going to be at the bottom of your screen, and it brings you over to their help site where they have tutorials. They've got a bunch of documents. They're very, very good when it comes to their help system. So I'm going to, this is what the Canva page looks like once you've logged in. It's free to log in. You will see a bunch of options here for different types of designs that you want to create. And I mean a bunch of different designs that you want to create. They have a whole bunch of options. And then down here, you're also going to see all of your designs that you've created. Over here to the side, like I said, they just changed this like last night since the last time I've logged in. So they have changed a few things. This whole front page looks very different. This brand kit and design school are totally new, but this team here is where you can add other members to your team. So like I have me and then my course director are members here. So if I make something, I can share it with her and we can both collaborate on it and work on it together. You can also see which designs you made and which ones were shared with you, and you have the ability to save your designs into different folders to keep them organized. So if you have, like me, I have this one Canva that I use for everything. It's not a course specific Canva. And so folders like this will be really helpful because I'll be able to say, okay, these ones are Sweet Adelines, these ones are for school, these ones are personal. And it'll be really easy to kind of keep everything organized. It does give you the option to upgrade, which is one of the paid accounts, and anything that has a crown on it are what you would need to pay for. Those are the things that cost. So if you go from home to create a design, you either click on this box here or you click on whichever option you want down here if you see one that you like. And like I said, they have a ton of options available. I usually make a social media or an Instagram post because I usually use this for social media. And so you click on one, and what it does is it gives you the layout that you would need for the size that you picked. They have a bunch of templates available that you can see over here. If they say free in the corner, then they're free. If they're not free, once you click on it, it'll tell you how much it costs and you can go through that. The ones that you have to have the upgraded account for, they should have a little crown in the corner as well. So you know that those are the upgrade ones, not just paid ones as well. The downside to these templates, oh, yep, sorry. Oh, wait a second. My audio got backed up. Has it caught up, Emily? Is everybody hearing me okay? Yeah? Okay. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'll put that here. The one downside to these templates is that you don't have a lot of ability to change what the text kind of looks like. It treats it as a picture. So this part here is going to be this size. This part here is going to be this size. This part's here going to be this size. I can't really change how wide or small it is. I can only kind of change like the ratio of it. And if you make your own design, that's not the case. You can have more control over the little specifics of how you want it to look. So I'm actually going to hit the back button here. So I have a blank one. And over here, you have all of your elements. So here you've got a bunch of background pictures that you can use, photos, you can search. So if I wanted to look for sunshine, these are all of the different images that they had in their system that had that tag of sunshine. You can see here how much some of them cost if they cost. You can see which ones are free. Once you start getting into cost ones, there's still going to be free ones kind of scattered throughout. So just because you see one that costs money, keep scrolling. There's probably more free ones after it. Text, you have a bunch of different options that you want to do. You can drag and drop any of these, but you can also click. Once you get text placeholders where you want, you can change the size of it. You can change where it is. You can change all of the fonts. They have a crazy amount of fonts here. I'm only into the C's here after all that scrolling. You can also upload your own fonts if you have the upgraded account. So like there's a font called Open Dyslexic that I personally am a fan of because it's easier for people who have dyslexia to read. And so if I wanted to make something with that font and I had the upgraded account, I could put that in here and I could use my own font. You can change the size, you can change the color, you can change everything here. You have a lot of options. It's pretty easy to use. And if you just kind of click around, you can kind of see. If you look down here, you've got the help button, and clicking on it opens it a little chat box here so you can get help. You can also add backgrounds if you want to. They have a bunch of different backgrounds. They kind of have them sorted by color. So if I wanted to do something like this, I wanted to say, Sun in the sun. And I wanted it to be up here. And I wanted to add sunshine picture. Ooh, I like that one. So I wanted to put that here. If you see any of these elements that have this kind of sky background to them, these are grids where you can upload your own pictures. So like, say I picked this grid. Oh, there we go. I picked this grid, then I can drag and drop pictures into this grid and they'll just attach to wherever you see the background. It took me a long time to figure that out, and I liked some of these shapes and I couldn't figure out why they all just look like clouds and grass. So it's a good thing to know that if you want to have that feature there, you just drag and drop pictures in to each of those and they kind of work as placeholders. You have an undo up here that, I mean, it just undoes everything step by step. Uploads, any pictures that you upload, they are all saved here. If you ever upload a picture that you want to delete, you click on these little 3 dots on the picture. Oh, this is a new option. So if you have the upgraded account, you can put your pictures in photos. You could download the original picture or you can delete it just by clicking on the 3 dots there. One thing that I really like about Canva is I have these QR codes that I made that I can, that I can add to any picture. What these do is if somebody has a QR reader on their phone and they scan this picture, it will bring them to a YouTube video of my chorus singing. And if they take a picture of this one, what it does is it brings them to my chorus's Facebook page. So any poster that I make for my chorus, I make sure that I have these 2 QR codes in there. And then if somebody sees it walking past, they can take a picture of it and they can automatically hear what we sound like. And it can kind of, you know, be a little more enticing for them for whatever we're trying to do. And then of course you could always add the Sweet Adelines logo to anything that you make. It's just a very easy to use kind of tool to be able to make anything. Up here where it says text placeholder, this is where you would name social media trial. This is where you would name your post, your picture, whatever you have. You can download it if you want to. Oh, sorry, I gotta move you over so I can see it. Excuse me. So you can download it. You can pick how you want to download it. And it gives you a suggestion based on what type of file you have. So if you're downloading a flyer, it might suggest a PDF. Since it knows I'm going to upload this to social media, it's suggesting a picture file. Since anything you upload to Instagram or to Facebook has to be a picture file. You also have the option to share it. So if it's not a member that's on your team, but you want them to still kind of see it or check it out, you type in their email address and you can invite them to view it or invite them to edit it. So if you want them to see it but not make changes,
Oh, you scared me.
you can do that, or you can have them edit it.
Maya, I'm like, who's she looking at?
Either one works.
Jeremy told me to be there, to be at my next game by 1:40.
Okay, because I texted Stacy to ask her because I didn't know. So, okay.
Oh, you give me kisses on my legs?
So how'd it go?
Somebody's got their audio unmuted.
But the other team didn't show up.
Wait a minute. This is how you mute.
So yeah, so that's Canva. Like I said, it's really wonderful. It auto saves. If you look up here, it will tell you if it's saving or if all of your changes have been saved. And it's just a very, very easy way to kind of make any kind of publicity that you would need to post for marketing purposes onto your chorus. And so, does anybody have any specific questions about Canva? Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, excuse me, is this program called Buffer. And what Buffer is it is a software application that's used to manage different social media accounts by providing a means to schedule posts to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, as well as analyze their results and engage with their community. So basically what this does is you log into your course's Facebook page, your course's Instagram page, if they have a Twitter, and it gives you a one-stop shop where you would be able to schedule posts that go out to all of those platforms all at the same time. And it also provides that analytical data that I was showing you that Facebook and Instagram has, and it allows you to look at all of those analytics from one place. Facebook is working on releasing a buffer feature. I've seen a couple of kind of like hints at it. They've shown me a couple of, hey, do you want to try this out yet? Where it will also allow you to do everything that Buffer is offering just from Facebook. So that's a feature that you're going to want to watch out for. It's a really, really great feature, and I'm pretty excited that they're actually getting ready to release it. This is a massive time saver, especially if you have a very active social media presence for your course. And it will allow you to make the posts when you're free, but actually have them submitted to the different social media platforms whenever your audience is going to be engaged in them. So I could make a post that I want to be on all three platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And from Buffer, I could say, well, I want this posted to Instagram at 5 p.m., but I want it posted to Twitter at 10 p.m., and I want it posted to Instagram at 4 p.m. And it would be able to do all of that just from one place. There are some firewall issues. They have been working on them. It takes them a little bit to kind of do some of these updates that they need, but so far, every issue that I've come across with Buffer, they've come out with a fix for it. The most recent one that I had is that anything that I tried to post to Facebook couldn't have a website link in it because it wouldn't let it submit through. So it's one of those things that you would have an issue with if you use any kind of third-party software like Buffer is. But as long as you have the time to kind of play with it, and again, if you do have that large social media presence, it might be worth it to try and play with it and see if it's right for your course. You do have to pay to get all of the insights, but the basic insights that are the things that we kind of look at our level are all for free. The more in-depth stuff is what you would have to pay for. Again, it has a huge help feature. If you go up to the top, right side of it, next to your account information, there's a help button, and you can get help from it there. So let me switch this over again. So what you do is you go to buffer.com. And I think, I couldn't remember my information because I haven't used it lately. This doesn't work. Nope. So I'm going to sign up.
Oh, here.
There we go.
I bet you here.
Okay. So as you can see, I've got my Twitter, my Facebook page, and my Instagram page for the reason here. And so what I could say is I could say this is going to post to all of them.
Muted.
And then what I can do is I could hit a button and it'll send this post to all three of my social medias all at the same time. What you need to do though is you need to make sure that it meets the qualifications for each of those social medias. For instance, Instagram has to have a picture or a video. You cannot just submit text. So this would not post to Instagram because there's no picture involved. Twitter has to be under 360 characters. So I couldn't write a massive paragraph and expect it to post to Twitter because it would be too long. Facebook doesn't really have any of those qualifications, so most anything will post to Facebook. And what you can do is you can customize it and say which post you want it to go to. and it will not let you add it to the queue to be posted if it doesn't meet some of the qualifications that you need. So like, because I'm trying to post it to Instagram, it won't let me because there's no image or video posted to it. This is where you can add your accounts. You can also add more. These are all the accounts that are currently available to add to it. From here, you can see, as you see, I haven't used this recently, so I don't have anything here. But if you do use it to post, it will actually show you what posts you've posted in the last 30 days for each of your accounts. And you can click through and see each one individually. And in your settings, they have a lot of options available here as well. Does it pop up telling you what is needed to post? Yes, if you go to when you do the add queue, you just kind of hover over that add to queue button and it'll tell you what's needed to post there. So the easiest way to do it is to try and make a post and then look to see if that queue button, it will allow you to click it or not. If it doesn't allow you to click it, just hover over it and it'll tell you what you're missing to be able to post it. So if I wanted to just post something
The mute button
to Facebook here.
It says mute, so it should be okay.
I can still hear you,
Okay.
whoever's saying that. If you hit the mute button one more time, it should actually mute it. There you go.
Oh, don't stop.
And so see, if I clicked on Facebook, I want this just to go to Facebook. And so it would allow me to add it to the queue because it meets all of the qualifications that I need for Facebook. For Twitter, it would allow me to do it to Twitter too because it meets all the qualifications. It doesn't go over the character limit. If I try to do it for Instagram, it won't let me hit it because there's not an image or a video included. So it's really good at telling you what you need. And it also allows you to share now or schedule the post. And you can schedule the specific time. You can go out for months, just like you can with all of the other ones. I mean, I'm a year out now, and I would be able to schedule it. It also allows you to change the time zone if you need to do that for anything as well. So it's pretty easy the way that it works. And then, like I said, down here is the help feature. It's got a bunch of instant answers, and you can also search to see if there's anything specific that you want to use. It's definitely worth a look, worth checking into to see if it's usable for your course. If you are not anticipating using a lot of social media accounts, or if you're not anticipating on posting more than a couple of times a week, it may not be worth it for you, but it is another option that's available out there. Does anybody have any other questions about Buffer? This was kind of a short piece to go through here. What I did want to do is I wanted to show you how to share a post to Instagram from Facebook. I forgot about that. So when you go to make a post, oh, they changed it on me. There used to be an option right here that it would also say add to Facebook, or I'm sorry, add to Instagram. Share a recent photo to your Instagram account. So maybe it's through there now. Okay, so that's probably how you do it. So they have this box here underneath. Oh, I don't want to go away. There we go. So underneath on your homepage, underneath the create a post, if your Instagram is linked up to your Facebook page, you're going to see this box here. And it'll give you different pictures that you've posted to Facebook and give you the option to add them to your Instagram account as well. I usually do this the opposite way. I'm more familiar with adding a picture to Instagram and sharing it with Facebook than the other way around.
I think that's what the Facebook is saying too. It says share a recent photo from your Instagram.
Haha, thank you. I'm gonna learn to read one of these days. Yes, so from your Instagram account, yeah. So if you want to share a photo to both of them, the easiest way to do it is to add it to your Instagram account and then share it with your Facebook page from there. Paula asked if I could talk about Twitter. I did not have Twitter in this PowerPoint just because I don't personally use Twitter at all. Twitter is, oh goodness, I have to remember what my stuff is for Twitter. Twitter is another place where it has a Facebook feed, or I'm sorry, it has a news feed similar to Facebook and Instagram do. The big difference between Twitter and the other two social media accounts is that you have a limited number of characters that you can use. It used to be 180. I think they've updated it to 260, I believe. You can have photos, you can have links, and really what our regional Twitter account does right now is it just kind of post Facebook links to link you back to the Facebook pages that we do. Twitter is used for a lot of current events. That's one of the main uses for it, just kind of in general. It's really good for breaking news, or when things happen, it updates very quickly. So if there's anything that you would want to post as a breaking news thing, or anything that you'd want up kind of current event wise that you'd want to post for your course, Twitter would probably be a good place to do that. But personally, I think Instagram and Facebook kind of cover the social media needs that we kind of have more so than Twitter does. But if anybody has any specific Twitter questions, please let me know. If I don't know the answer for them, I will get you an answer. Just because it's not, like I said, just because it's not good for my course or for what I do doesn't mean it's not good for your course. So please let me know if you guys have any of those questions, and I can look into an answer for you. But otherwise, if there are no other questions, I think that was everything that I had. And that was a lot. So thank you guys for all joining the first ever online social media class. Does anybody have any other questions or anything?
Just if we wanted to go back and watch parts of it, do we just sign back in through Zoom?
No, what we will do is I'll actually post it to YouTube. So once I have it on YouTube, I will send you guys the link to that, and then you can go back through. It'll be on the region's YouTube page.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. They're calling for a 1/4 inch of ice here, so I'm hoping we don't skate away. But all right.
Thank you, Laurel, for sharing your expertise 3 times now across our region with choruses to help with both their membership and their marketing. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I was happy to help.
Anything else, anyone? Paula, how are you doing there?
We're doing great. Oh yeah, we'll be doing some additional webinars in the future. Now that we have a Zoom account at the region, we have capability to do a lot of training.
Very good. Judy and Paula, thank you for hosting Cedar Rapids. Anyone, any questions from anyone?
I think our brains are full.
We'll be dreaming about Twitter. Thank you everyone for participating. Looking forward to seeing you all at competition.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe, Laurel.
You guys too.
Is there anything